Hi, my name is Garret and I'll be teaching you guys how to make the Italian red sauce. Okay, it's a staple in Italian cuisine, and definitely something that everybody should know how to make because it is quite simple. So let's jump right into the supplies. Right, we got here a pot with a lid, about 4 cloves of garlic, either chopped or pressed, and then here's a quarter of white onion, diced, stick of butter, tomato paste. You're not going to need a lot of it. Your seasonings, I chose really aromatic ones. Crushed red pepper, and then this is oregano, standard salt and pepper, standard olive oil, and then wooden spoon to stir everything together. And then lastly, and most importantly, the tomatoes themselves, peeled San Marzano tomatoes. Okay, all that really matters is that they're peeled in San Marzano. My brand preferences would be Kirkland and Center. Okay, so to start the sauce off, the pot should be at a bare simmer or a low heat. Okay, that's about 3 on an electric stove and low heat on a gas range. Okay, so we're going to go with lining the bottom of the pan with the olive oil. Okay, once that's lined, we're going to go right in with the 4 cloves of garlic. Okay, and then after that garlic's worked in for about 30 seconds to a minute, okay, and that aroma's come out pretty well, we're going to go with the seasonings, right? And all this is doing is trying to build kind of the smell, the scent of the sauce, right? The aroma of it all. Okay, so once you get the big smells in the house, okay, of the garlic, of the olive oil, of the seasonings, okay, that's your cue. Get the onions in. Okay, the onions are going to come in. They provide 2 really big things, right? Of course, the taste, right, kind of that sweetness, kind of that caramelization, right? And then they also provide moisture. The moisture is important because without it, the garlic will burn and the seasonings will most likely burn. That would alter the flavor. So the onion, very important to put it in really once you get that fragrance that fills up the whole house. Okay, now we've built that really good flavor base, right? So now we can go right at it with the bulk, the tomatoes. Okay, you're gonna put those in, right? Both cans right away. Like I said, bare simmer, right? So it should be small bubbles, right? If it's totally boiling, too hot, turn it down. If you don't see really any bubbles, too low, turn it up, right? The tomatoes, when you first put them in, they will have structure, okay? That is fine. On goes the lid, right? We're gonna come back to it about 30 minutes, okay? Take the lid off. You're gonna see that structure, that tomatoey structure, is going to be gone pretty much. It's gonna be a little more mushy, right? It looks more like a sauce, okay? Here's where the spoon comes in. You're gonna decide your texture, okay? Personally, I like a rustic texture, a little more chunkier, right? So I barely work them, okay? All you're doing is you're taking the spoon and mushing it to the sides, okay? Breaking up the tomatoes even more. I personally do that for just a little while, maybe 30 seconds to a minute, because I like those thicker chunks. Some people like a puree, right? If you like to puree, get after it. Go ahead and mush it all up, right? Get it to like a smoothie, right? It's your sauce. Do whatever you want, right? Back goes that lid, right? And the whole time that we have the lid on, it should be just cracked, right? Letting the steam escape, right? Because you don't want too much steam because you'll get like this big old layer of water. It's not what you want, right? After about an hour, okay, at least 1 hour, the sauce should be a lot darker, right? It should be a darker, richer red. And if you're content with where it's at, right, of course, taste it. If you're content with where it's at, go ahead and take it off the heat. Okay, it's done. Personally, I like to go about an hour and a half, right? I think that really helps it out. So now you're at an hour and a half. We're gonna cut the heat completely, right? And we are going to finish it off. So to finish it off, keep it in the pot. We're gonna add in about a half stick to a full stick of butter, right? Depending on how fatty you want the texture to be. And naturally, right, with the heat coming from the pot, it's going to melt all that butter within it, right? So you're gonna stir it up, get the butter, and that's going to complete the texture of the sauce, okay? It's gonna come full circle texture-wise. Now you get to do the final seasonings. Salt and pepper to your liking. I definitely go stronger with the pepper. Definitely go strong with the salt. Okay, that really helps the flavor come out with the salt. And then finally, there's an option of sugar. Okay, San Marzano tomatoes are quite sweet. Okay, but I like a really sweet sauce, so I still put in a good large pinch of sugar. It's optional. It's up to you whether you want it or not. And after that, once you've done everything, that's how you